and there's a law enforcement officer right there. In fact, you know, I think that's a regular motorcycle. But regardless, at times vehicle going in and out of all traffic lanes, weaving through traffic. And so we're just coming up here shortly onto the 126. So number 1, number 2 lane, swerving in and out of these traffic lanes. Traffic right now going about 55 miles per hour here.
And this is one of these Mercedes commercial vans, is that correct?
I'm sorry, Carolyn, say that again.
I said it's a Mercedes van, a Sprinter, we understand. Have you been able to tell?
No, not yet, but you can see the large van there makes it a little difficult for them to be able to pull this vehicle over as far as making an attempt of doing a pits maneuver. Might be a little difficult. I think that vehicle right there is going to outweigh your average CHP unit. I will tell you, however, they are setting up spike strips. That is what they're planning to do. They're hoping to get a spike strip deployed, and you can see he's coming up on an exit here. That's the he's just he almost just wrecked on that center median there, that off ramp. So that was, I believe, the Rose exit. We're trying to get the locator here. That was Telephone Road, just past Telephone Road on the 101 freeway in Ventura County. The 126 is coming up, so I'm not sure if he's going to take that exit here, but you can see how he comes up really close onto this big rig here, and I believe this is the 126, and only one way to go. That would be eastbound back into LA County, perhaps.
Interesting, and we can see here this big rig pulling over here, really slowing down almost to a stop, it appears, and now he's going around alongside that.
Yeah, that big rig almost, it almost appeared perhaps that big rig was trying to slow him down, but the big rig heard the sirens. The guy did what he was supposed to do. He yielded to the right, and unfortunately, this guy was able to get around him. So, Carolyn, we're now on the 126, working our way back toward LA County, which is kind of a far reach. We're going to have to go through the elements of Thousand Oaks, Simi Valley, and all that area. But unfortunately, the 126, only a 2-lane highway, and right now, traffic is relatively light. So most likely we're going to see open speeds along this portion of the roadway. But if anything, this would be a perfect opportunity where units can deploy a spike strip up ahead of the road here. So hopefully that may be an option to bring this pursuit to a safe end.
Megan, are we still technically in Camarillo at this point?
Yeah, we are. Technically, we're going back towards the Camarillo area. We did pass Camarillo Airport. At times, speeds were about 90 miles per hour. I was monitoring this pursuit as News Chopper 4, the only one covering this pursuit right now, as we were headed toward this pursuit. We're exiting Victoria, so we're exiting Victoria off the 126. Let's see what happens as this vehicle takes the exit and see what he decides to do.
Yeah, is this the Saticoy area?
I'm not too sure the area, but I know we're by Buena High School. We're near Buena High School. We just exited Victoria. We're northbound Victoria off the 126, crossing over the 126 right there below. Buena High School is just to the east of us, so we're going to see what this person decides to do, continuing northbound on Victoria. So now we're on surface streets here. Now, the suspect vehicle did go on surface streets earlier in the Thousand Oaks area. He was on surface streets for about 5 minutes and then went back onto the freeway. So now we're in the, I want to say Camarillo area, somewhere in this area, Ventura County on Victoria, just right off the 126. Pilot telling me we have a lot of traffic coming up here, so let's see what happens as he approaches this intersection.
Yeah, this is always really a tough one when you see this amount of cars, and now he's in a bike lane approaching a red light, and he is stopping here at least.
Yeah, you can see he's making a right turn here off of this road here, listening to the CHP, trying to see, they just changed frequencies, so I need to find that. Eastbound Telegraph Road. So we're eastbound Telegraph Road from Victoria. If you're familiar with this area, if I pull out, you're going to see the high school. The high school is right in this area, so fortunately we don't see much activity there. That yellow helicopter, that's Ventura County Sheriff's. I believe that's the Ventura County Sheriff's. They are assisting, and you can see the vehicle now slowing down.
We're about to bring our viewers on NBC4 on, so we're going to pause for just a moment here, and then we'll be back on the web as well. We're following breaking news for you right now. It is a chase involving this Mercedes van. News Chopper 4, the only chopper overhead. Megan Reyes has been doing a great job following this for us. It's been a little dicey here now that we're on city streets. Megan, what's the latest here? He's really slowed to a stop, essentially.
Yeah, Caroline, we've been following this pursuit out of L.A. County through Camarillo. You can see that it's Telegraph Road. Vehicle just made a right turn off of Telegraph Road. We're just really close to high school in this area. Let me try to get us positioned here. We can let you know the exact location. But California Highway Patrol has been pursuing this vehicle. Ventura County CHP has been pursuing this white vehicle. Now, what we understand is this is an unreported stolen vehicle out of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's jurisdiction. This vehicle was traveling through the Topanga area. LAPD saw this vehicle. They attempted to pull the vehicle over, and the vehicle failed to yield, ensuing a pursuit. We're on Surface Streets area here in Ventura County, right off of Telegraph Road. You can see he's pulling into a parking lot right here. This may actually be a school here. This is possibly a school here, so we'll try to see what's happening here, but I believe this is I'm trying to see what school this exactly is here. Balboa Middle School. This might be near Balboa Middle School. Vehicle going through the school parking lot, coming back out onto the main street right now. So this is Woodland Street. And indeed that was Balboa Middle School. So dangerous situation here. Coming up on 2 o'clock, we may still have students in session, but right now you can see this pursuit here in the Ventura city limits. CHP doing what they can. In fact, there's a school bus right there showing evidence that children are perhaps getting out of school.
Yeah, and Megan, we watched some really dangerous driving on the 101 where this driver was in the shoulder, zipping past cars that were slowed on the freeway in the Camarillo area. His speeds obviously reduced significantly here, but still, we don't know what's going on with this driver.
No, this driver is failing to yield. That is Victoria Street right up there. So if any good news, the driver is complying. That is Woodland and Victoria. You can see the driver is just complying with the traffic laws, which is a good thing right now. Earlier we saw him blazing through a couple of signal lights, failing to yield, causing perhaps a very dangerous situation. But what's more dangerous, the fact that the driver drove through Balboa Middle School, and we're still near Buena High School, which is just on the other side of Victoria. So we're not sure if students are on spring break, but the fact that we saw a school bus just a second ago, evidence that perhaps they are getting ready to pick up children, as it's 2 o'clock here. School probably gets out within the next hour or so. Let's zoom in here and see what the driver is doing. Driver seems to be nonchalant right now, just waiting, casual. Right now, from what it appears, only one person in that vehicle. Not too sure if we have multiple occupants. Can't see what's in the back. But again, an alleged stolen vehicle reported out of the L.A. County Sheriff's jurisdiction. LAPD attempted to pull it over. Units from the Topanga Division. The vehicle did not pull over, ensuing in a pursuit. Now we're in the city of Ventura here, approaching Victoria. And we're going to see what's going to happen as this light turns green.
And Megan, there is a CHP unit directly behind this van at this point. Is there not? Or very close? Yes, there. We do see law enforcement.
Yeah, he's going southbound. In fact, I believe they may have tried to deploy spike strips there, so we're not sure if it was successful, but we're going southbound Victoria back to the 126. And in fact, we're pulling into this high school. This is Buena High School, pulling into the high school here. Look at this unit right here. He's going to go up there and hopefully cut him off. So this might be coming to an end. Let's see what happens as he approaches that officer. Officers approaching the guy with their guns drawn right now, so hopefully this is coming to an end here. Buena High School here, right off of Victoria near Telegraph.
This is always a tense situation when we get to this point and the driver is not exiting the vehicle. Now we see him speeding up here.
Oh, my goodness, look at that. Oh. Yeah, guys, in fact, he just accelerated toward officers there. Very dangerous situation. In fact, this is the second time a pursuit we've covered within the past hour. We saw an assault on a police officer.
Good afternoon once again. I'm Glenn Walker along with Lou Parker in the KTLA5 studios. We have yet another pursuit here in Southern California. This one, a stolen vehicle, and this one started in Oxnard.
It's a large vehicle. Not clear exactly what type of vehicle this is. Tim Lynn is up in Sky 5. What details do you have for us, Tim?
Oh, this guy just pulled over in the high school here, and he was on Victoria, just turning now back to the west here. This is some type of Sprinter van, a Mercedes Sprinter van. It's a stolen vehicle, And the CHP has been in pursuit of this thing all the way out of the San Fernando Valley. Now we're in the middle of Ventura, just north of Oxnard. And we're continuing here now. They're calling southbound right now. It's actually, we're heading west. But the Ventura County Sheriffs and CHP are on it right now, along with Ventura County Sheriffs. Looked like he was about ready to give up there, pulling into a school parking lot. But then he, once the officers got out of their cars and started approaching him, he took off again. But right now he's at the right shoulder here. You see his car just confused. He hears sirens, sees his big white van behind him, tries to pull over. The van just goes right in behind him. But right now we're heading west on Telegraph from Victoria in the city of Ventura. Going to be coming up on Ventura High School here in a few seconds for the folks familiar with this area. But this pursuit has been going on for well over 45 minutes. Went through the area of the West Valley, got into Thousand Oaks, went through a shopping mall out there, and then got on that 101, headed out through Camarillo, got off at Victoria, has been going through the Ventura County area, or Ventura City area. You see him just getting really close to these cars. Now he's making a turn. This is into the high school parking lot. The high school parking lot, Ventura High School. Actually, no, it's a college, is what Tim Deckett, my pilot or camera operator, is telling me. I was looking down at the field. It looked like a high school to me, but he's in the college parking lot now. Ventura College is what I've been told, and as he makes his turn to the parking lot, the Ventura County Sheriff are now sealing off the exits of the driveway on both ends to get the CHP directly behind him, pulling through here. And, you know, it's a stolen vehicle. We don't know what the suspect mindset is at this point. You know, why did he steal this car? Was there stuff inside this vehicle that he really wanted? You know, if it's a work truck with tools or some type of cargo van. It looks like the driver door is open. See the units just surrounding him as he starts the gump door. Looks like it might have went closed again as I work Sky 5 around. Now he's starting to work his way back east as we kind of circle over the top of this parking lot. Picking up speed, spike strips right there. Over the spike strips, a good spike. You saw that little black line just come out from behind him. They were quick enough to get that spike strip out. Now he's coming back out the Telegraph. Going to be coming back westbound Telegraph here away from Ventura College. As we come around, we'll follow him on. Hopefully it took out those two right side tires. That will definitely take care of this car as far as it going too much further. But he has been at high rate of speeds at times. And then, as you've been watching him, very, very slow in the right-hand shoulder. So, and I don't know why he's picking schools to go through. As I said, he was in a high school a little bit earlier in that parking lot. Thought he was going to give up. And now he's fishtailing just a little bit. Oh, yeah, he's got the rear tires giving up on him a little bit. You can see it starting to wiggle there a little bit as he comes up to the next intersection. He's coming up on a red light and going through that intersection, no traffic, and you can see that tail of that car just wiggling, so you know that rear tire has gone flat on him. Those spike strips are designed to release the air very slowly. They're basically metal tubes that are very sharp, and they're like a straw basically that goes into the tire and then lets the air out slowly, so it just doesn't, you know, as you see in the movies, explode if it goes over it. But this one here just lets it out, and he'll slowly, surely start losing control of that rear of the van. And if they got that right front tire, that should be able to take that out as well and stop his ability to maneuver. But his speed has picked up pretty good here westbound on. Oh, you see the smoke there. He just lost that left front tire. So he's on the rim there. The tires will start heating up like that because they're being just drugged over the ground by the rims. And then you'll start seeing chunks of tires flying off here, and you'll see donuts. You know, that tire just come off and rip across the street. Oh, just barely missed that car as you continue westbound here on Telegraph, going through a very populated area, shopping area, another school up ahead, and at 207, hopefully you don't have a lot of kids out here, but he's on brakes now, slowing down, coming into traffic. And that was a very, very close to that car that crossed in front of him as he blew through that red light. But as he comes up, he's coming to a slowing down. But once he loses traction here and he slows down, those tires will give up on him, and then the rims are very, very useless on the asphalt. He'll start spinning. Doors open here. You see the CHP officers here. He's coming to a stop. Guy's out on foot. We're going to keep a close eye. He's starting to walk away. This is heading up into a boom, pushed him down. CHP officer, actually this is Ventura police officer in foot pursuit. Looked like he just tried to knock him down, but right now he's running. He's tackled. Oh, now he's going to just take him down, drop him to the ground. Here comes his fellow officers. going to take him into custody right now here, right by another school here, and I'll get the name of this one here, but it looks like maybe the officers now have him under the tree here, and you see them just taking him into custody, holding his legs, getting the handcuffs on him, and then the officer here calling code 4. They're going to go back and check on the van as well. But pursuit, they're just very strangely racing along the freeways, getting into Ventura here, and then finally Ventura Police Department along with the county sheriffs and CHP able to spike strip that van and run the tires off it, which is exactly what we want to see. So right now, from what we saw, nobody really injured in this pursuit as far as citizens, but the suspect is in custody and will be heading off to the jail for the rest of the afternoon. So.
All right, Tim Lynn, thank you so much. Again, this pursuit starting in the San Fernando Valley area, going through that area, ending up in Oxnard. That spike strip just made things worse for him, and he couldn't control this alleged stolen vehicle. Second pursuit today, busy day.
This one much slower.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to take a quick break for about 45 minutes, and we'll be back at 3 o'clock for our 3 o'clock newscast and our special Dodgers show.
Live from San Diego, this is the Fox 5 News at 5.
We have some more breaking news. A very intense police chase on the 5 northbound right now, where police are chasing this red sedan, Andrew, that has been cruising. He is all over the road, weaving back and forth. He's now in the far left carpool lane. I think he just is approaching the split.
Just now hitting traffic, too. This guy's been going incredibly fast and going around every car, and right now is on the shoulder as traffic around him is slowed down. He hasn't hit anything yet, but that's a miracle. And if he hits something
he came
soon,
real close.
Yeah, it would be no surprise if he hits something here any moment. How out of control this person is driving. If you have someone out there who might be on the 5 North, let them know what's going on, because this is an extremely dangerous situation with this car driving significantly faster than traffic and now on the shoulder and putting a lot of lives at danger, frankly.
Yeah, and he really was weaving back and forth. I thought there, as you see, he's leaving the carpool lane, probably trying to ditch police. Not sure if he knows that he's got a police helicopter above him tracking all of his moves, but now he is getting off of the freeway there.
Looks like onto the 56.
Yeah, potentially that's what I was thinking, off of the 56 there, the bypass. Police were told to back off, as they often are when there is a police chase like this where the person is driving really fast. Sometimes police are told to back off so that the driver will slow down, so he doesn't feel like he's being chased. But clearly, as you said, yeah, that is not the case. This guy is all over the place.
No, in fact, on the freeway, he was passing a car a moment while we were in that break and nearly hit one of those barriers head on. And you can see how fast this guy's going. I mean, we can't tell, by number, but it is
blowing through
much faster than you
too.
Ever imagine. Look at it going across the center divide. He just hit something.
He must have hit a mirror, maybe someone's mirror
like
there.
That, yes, but putting a lot of people in danger the way that he is going in and out of traffic and around cars. Now on surface streets, right? So he's not on a freeway. Wow. He's more on a highway, side street kind of situation where there's businesses and maybe even homes around that area. And with not a lot of regard for the people around him. Yeah,
if you have kids watching this, you may want to remove them from the room. We never know. These are live pictures, so we don't know what's going to happen. If police ask us to back off as our chopper as well, we will certainly do that. I haven't seen, Andrew, interestingly enough, any police cars behind him. So this guy definitely is just trying to get away as he weaves through. I'm trying to get a little bit better idea of where he's going. I thought he got off of the 56 into the Carmel Valley area, but now it looks like he's potentially driving on just some...
Yeah, I think he got off that and came onto some side streets here and kind of just lost it. Did he stop?
I don't know. There's Sky Fox above
kind of blocked by that ridge right there. He may have just...
Unless he's going off maybe to the right.
They're trying to find him now. I mean, he was going so fast, then all of a sudden we lost. Yeah, he's not there.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Sky Fox also lost him.
Yeah, he came around that ridge. On the left side of the screen, there's that ridge. So we kind of lost picture of him for a second. They're going to find him here momentarily.
Our producers are also trying to get some information as far as the street road that he's on. Look, Sky Fox definitely confused, trying to figure out where did this guy just disappear to. That car, it was a red sedan. It was speeding at very high speeds. There he is.
I would say it's so rare for a helicopter to lose him and perhaps lose perspective, considering the angle that they have. But that guy just happened to be in a certain spot where he was able to get away for 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, he is like disregarding all traffic. My gosh, you think of that biker there as he's going through the intersections, not stopping. He slowed down a little bit, thankfully.
That was the first time we've seen him take any regard for anybody else there.
We've been watching this police chase, was started less than 10 minutes ago out off of Gilman Drive in La Jolla. The guy hopped on the 5 northbound. There we're getting a clearer picture inside.
You can read the driver's license plate there, too.
I can't read it. It's going too fast. But, man, look at him going through. And anyone who drives in the La Jolla, Carmel Valley area at this time knows how difficult traffic is there. He's going into one of the neighborhoods. It looks like he's pulling into a house.
Is it a house or an apartment
complex?
complex?
This is in Camino del Mar.
Okay, he's pulled into a parking space here. Let's see if he gets out and makes a run for it. And that's exactly what it looks like he's going to do.
Look, it's like, is there somebody else in the car, perhaps? Or he threw maybe something else in?
Let's see.
I'm surprised we're not seeing any police officers behind him, but you got to believe they're close on his tail, as the chopper person there is going to be giving police some direction.
He may have just dropped something out and got back in the car.
What in the world?
So hard to tell from this angle and this height. But back in the car.
He definitely moved something, but there he goes back in the car off of Camino del Mar. Trying to talk with our producer now. Is this in the Carmel Valley area, Ryan? We're still in the Carmel Valley area off the 5. We saw him get off of the bypass. Now he's driving on the sidewalk.
Oh, wow. And there's a guy right there. It shows you just how dangerous this is.
Man. You know, and no fault to the other drivers. You're kind of like in your zone when you're driving home. You don't really realize what's going on unless someone is calling or texting you and they're watching it on the news saying, hey, man, look out for this kind of crazy driver here in this red car. I didn't see anybody else in the vehicle, but that doesn't mean that there isn't somebody. We just didn't see him when he stopped there. He definitely got out of the car, adjusted something. It looked like he threw something in his passenger side and then got back in the car and kept going.
Yeah, so he was just in the bike lane a moment ago, and while he's taken a little bit of regard for intersections, he's not taken any regard for walking intersections where people might be coming across the street, or obviously the bike lane that he got in a second ago. Now he's at a dead stop and kind of has nowhere to go because he can't really go over that median, and he can't get around any of these cars. This is the first time we've kind of seen him stop and really get stuck, kind of boxed in. But that is the case. And again, like you said, Jen, these cars around him have no real idea of what's going on. They don't realize Skyfox and police choppers are above head following this particular red car. But that's exactly what's happening because this guy has been driving so erratically and so wildly for the last couple of minutes that we've been seeing some pretty incredible stuff as he now moves into the Del Mar area. Again, if you have anybody out on the road right now that could be in the Del Mar area or even on the 5 that could potentially be in the path of this guy, give him a heads up. Let him know what's going on. We're doing our best to get the information.
Look at him weaving in and out. Oh, my goodness. Is this really Jimmy Durante? This looks like Jimmy Durante Boulevard going right through. If I'm right where he is, I think the racetrack is going to be up here on the left where he just went through sort of the downtown Del Mar area. But he has been all over the road, so I could definitely be wrong in my directional.
If that is, in fact, the case, he could be headed right back to the 5.
Right. It looks like his arm or something is out of the window. He's got his window rolled down, or he's holding up his arm. In many cases like this,
could just be blocking the sun. That's where the sun is right this part of the day.
It's so interesting. We see so many police chases out of the LA area, not very many in the San Diego area. In a case like this, we did hear that police were told to back off as he was on the 5. And probably for good reason, honestly, because the way this guy was driving, he was so erratic and going so fast.
So if this is where we think that he is, this road kind of is swinging around where Del Mar racetrack is. Hard to tell. It's really hard to tell because we're so focused in. But maybe if Skyfox does pull out here, we'll see the racetrack on the left side, and that's exactly where they are.
It is.
So the 5 is right in front of him. He's going to come up to the road here, Via de la Valle, and perhaps take a right and get back on the 5.
Yep.
Or would go left and get closer to the water.
Right, so that's Jimmy Durante Boulevard that he's on. He's going to come up on that Hilton Hotel there on the right and the gas station. And Andrew, I think you're right on. If he wants to try to lose the police tail, he is probably going to get back on the freeway. Though you drive this every day, and the 5 northbound is normally pretty crowded.
Well, sure. It's 5:37 in the afternoon. He is going toward the 5 right now. So taking that right and getting onto Via de la Valle, and
if
maybe
he stays
just
in that lane, he'll get on the 5
couple hundred yards
southbound.
ahead. Just a couple hundred yards ahead is the 5. So he stays in the right lane. He's going south. If he keeps going a little farther, he's going to get to the opportunity to go north, and he is going south, it looks like. So he is getting back on the 5 going south, and perhaps, you know, a move to avoid some traffic, like you said, this time of the day at 5:37. And clearly that is the case, looking at the 5, a lot more open for this driver to head back south. This is a chase, by the way, if you're just joining us. It started in the La Jolla area, and this is what we saw as it started. This guy driving extremely fast, extremely erratically, and with little regard for the cars around him. And in this case, again, is going much faster than traffic anyway, but not quite as fast perhaps as we saw shortly ago.
There's Skyfox pulling out, giving you a better perspective. Interesting, this guy probably thinks that he's not going to hit very much traffic going southbound, but he's got another thing coming as he approaches the split, because traffic almost comes to a dead stop. It clears through Del Mar, and then once you hit that 805-5 split, it definitely slows down. So I'll be curious to see what he does as he tries to maneuver and outpace the police. He's approaching at this point the 56, and it looks like Del Mar Heights Road. He got on the 5 southbound at Via de la Valle as he had passed the fairgrounds, kind of wove through downtown Del Mar. As Andrew had first mentioned, he got on the 5 northbound at Gilman Drive there in La Jolla.
So we had seen this guy make a stop. He pulled into a parking spot. It almost seemed like a pretty specific parking spot. And either pull something out of the car or move something within the car. And from our perspective, it almost looks like he keeps reaching over to the passenger side, but we haven't seen any evidence that there's another person inside. That was a strange move.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. He pulled into the parking lot, got out quickly, and then adjusted something, and then got right back in and pulled out, and came within inches, by the way, of slamming into a car that was parked behind him, and then got back on the freeway there as he's passing Carmel Mountain Road and the bypass there of the 56 as he's headed on the 5 southbound. In the next mile and a half or so, he's going to approach the 56. I'm sorry, he's approaching the 56. He's going to approach the 805-5 split, where traffic often gets very congested. Almost looks like, Andrew, he's doing a big loop, because this is sort of where he started. I'm not seeing him weave in between lanes as much as he was in the beginning of this chase, but I mean, there, look at him. He was in the far right lane, and now he's swinging all the way over to the left, and eventually we'll probably just try to pick up the carpool lane or something to allow him to keep moving. I'll be very curious to figure out why he's running in the first place. If police tried to pull him over, as often happens, either for a routine traffic stop, or let's just say his tail light was out, or if he's got an outstanding warrant.
Yeah,
or
this isn't
I mean, he's obviously running for something.
Right, this isn't a taillight situation. Obviously, there's something that may have tipped him off in the first place, but now he's getting off at Carmel Mountain Road. Okay, and by the way, as Skyfox points out right there, I was just going to say, there isn't a ton of traffic when it comes to the 5 there. So they did get off at Carmel Mountain Road, and Skyfox seems to have lost him there. Is that?
Nope, that
doesn't
look
like
him.
the right car. He's just looking for a red car right now. He got off at Carmel Mountain Road. I don't know if he got right back onto the freeway.
I think he's right there, yeah.
Now they're just looking for a red car. That looks like it might be it. That was a very similar look to the car. Looks like either a Hyundai or a Lexus.
Sonata or something, yeah.
It's hard to tell from the logo from this height, but if that is in fact the car, there he is back on the 5 South, and seems to have a kind of a clear go looking at traffic. I don't see a ton of traffic.
I am so surprised. I always feel like it's really crowded at this time.
Well, say if you get to the split and you get to the 5, where the 805 and the 5 split, that might be a spot where, and he's getting on the 805. It looks like right there, staying left onto the 805, where there probably is less traffic right about now.
Wow, this is really interesting. We're trying to talk to the police department and figure out why they are chasing this guy. It's interesting to note, whenever there's a chase on the freeway, it's the CHP who is taking the lead command of the investigation at this point. Could have been San Diego police, for example, who initially tried to pull him over, or for whatever reason, first initially made the call, and then as soon as it gets onto a freeway, the CHP takes over, and of course they are working with the other agencies, San Diego Police, perhaps even the Sheriff's Department.
I was just going to say real quick, there is traffic coming up, and it seems to be getting to it right now.
Now he's on the southbound 805 approaching Carroll Canyon, which is the Sorrento Valley area, which is really where it starts to back up. You have all that Qualcomm traffic that's headed home.
All the way to the 52, which is probably for the next couple of miles there. He's going to have some decent traffic. He is in the HOV far left lane. I believe there's another kind of open lane here, right there where he's passing that he could have split off, but he didn't. So he stays there in the left lane and is passing by traffic well enough right now. You might ask, where is he going to go? Well, if you're just joining us, he's going to go under the shoulder or wherever he has to go, because that's kind of the
modus operandi at this point.
Exactly what I was going to say. That's kind of been his MO to this point in this chase. Right now, he's not driving the way he was at the beginning, which was just about anywhere he wanted to. Right now, he's kind of following traffic, maybe hoping to blend in.
We'll see him trying to maneuver a little bit. Not anything all that erratic, though he's cutting their 3 lanes and trying to get into the far slow lane there and try to pick up some speed and get away. Where he's going.
Maybe thinking about the 52 here. And I think traffic breaks up actually shortly after they cross the 52, but that might be a spot, either the 52 or one of the other exits right there off of the 805.
I think he's still got a little bit of time.
May have a little bit to go, you're right.
Before he gets to the 52. I mean, this area near the Sorrento Valley, Qualcomm area is just a mess at this time. They're doing all that construction, right?
It's Miramar Road, right? Miramar Road and La Jolla Village Drive.
Okay. So there he's getting off of that.
He's staying right back on.
Nope, there he goes.
He's just getting around traffic. And this is more reminiscent of what we saw shortly ago, which is that he's going to go on the shoulder and just go for it. So it may have either been tipped off that, yes, police are still chasing him, or took care of whatever he needed to take care of inside the car as far as the evidence goes, and decided we're going to make a run for it once again.
Which, if that's the case, I mean, what is he going to do? We haven't seen anything get thrown out the window.
Right. Other than that one stop in the Del Mar area to either move evidence, pull it out of the car, or something. Now he's getting to a bit of a squeeze here where that shoulder lane is disappearing and he's cutting right in the middle of traffic. Once again, if you have somebody on the road there heading south on the 805, you might want to give them a heads up out there that there's a really erratic driver in this red Honda who is putting a lot of people at risk, and he's showing exactly how dangerous he is once again.
This is some of the area that's under construction, so he's got to be careful too that doesn't hit some crazy big pothole or something.
Sure.
If you're just joining us here, by the way, at 10 to 6, we've been following for the last 20 minutes or so this very erratic driver in this red Honda that has been taking police on quite the chase. Started in La Jolla at the 5 northbound, and he was cruising, weaving in and out of traffic. At one point, almost crashing into drivers. He then got off the road somewhere in Carmel Valley, randomly pulled into what looked like he knew where he was going, a parking lot, got out of the car, messed with something in his passenger side, got back in, pulled off, took police around another neighborhood, and then got back on the 5 southbound at Via de la Valle. And now we're picking him up off the 805 south, just passing the Miramar La Jolla exit, and he is driving very erratically. Police, it should be noted, have been told to back off because of the dangerous situation. Sort of hold your breath in these situations, because there's the police helicopter going right in front of Skyfox there. They obviously tracking him with their eyes in the sky as he continues to pick up speed now on the southbound 805. You really do hold your breath in these situations, because you feel like there's thousands of these other drivers that are innocently going home from work. They have their kids in their car. They're going back, and you got this crazy guy weaving in and out of traffic, going from the far right lane to the far left lane, pretending that he's getting off the freeway, then getting back on. And the likelihood is he's going to at some point crash. Whether he crashes on his own or crashes into somebody else, this is not going to end well.
No, and this is the Claremont Mesa Boulevard exit where he just passed by once again. Almost looked like he was getting off and decided to come back on, and he's back all the way across into the left lane. Like you said, I mean, that's really interesting, Jen, because we see these kinds of drivers on the road all the time. And you look at it and you say, all right, you know, one knucklehead out there just driving crazy. These folks don't realize just how wild this particular driver is.
Right.
I mean, he is really, really a danger to a lot of people, and is not afraid to put them in danger because he cares about one person, that's himself, as he runs from authorities. Back onto the shoulder there. I mean, you never know what you're going to hit on the shoulder. What you're going to spray up to somebody else, or the fact that you're going to
back left
fly
tire.
into somebody else.
It almost looks like he might have blown a tire.
Yeah, certainly looks like that.
we didn't see any spike strips set down, so it could have just been from his speed or for something like you said. I'm sure he hit something as he was going back and forth and back and forth. If that's the case, he's not going to be able to drive very long because that tire's going to shred, and he's going to be driving on the axle of his car.
Coming up to the 163 area as they hit traffic once again. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that back. Looks like back left tire maybe, unless it was a front left, but it's on the left side.
There you see the 163 and the 805. He just passed, by the way, the Fox 5 studios here in Kearney Mesa. Sky Fox gives us a bigger picture of some of the traffic. I drive this route every day. I know normally at 6:15 or 6:30 he is still going to hit traffic on the 805 southbound. It looks like now he's approaching, still on the 805 in the far right lane in that red car, now on the shoulder, getting onto the 163 south, which also typically has a decent amount of traffic, not necessarily as busy as the 805, but getting on the 163 south, headed toward the downtown area. He's going to first pass the Linda Vista area and then eventually hit the Fashion Valley, Mission Valley area as we sort of lose him a little bit through those trees as Sky Fox then comes above. And man, look at how fast he's going there on the 163 in the far right lane, that red car. We believe he's got a blown left back tire, but given how fast he's going, Andrew, I'm not really a car expert, so I could be wrong about this, but I'm surprised if he truly does have a blown tire, he's able to go this fast for this long.
Something was kicking up. It may not have been from a blown tire, though it may have looked like that.
Just dust or something.
Sure. And looking at traffic, by the way, it is extremely slow all the way through Balboa Park on the 163. I mean, there's a ton of traffic. This guy's going to be in for a while.
Hold on. It looks like he's reversing.
My goodness.
Oh, my goodness. He is reversing, correct?
Again, this is on the 163 south, and this guy is reversing northward.
Right.
So you're coming onto that exit, and you have no idea that this guy's coming the wrong way. This is a really scary situation.
I do want to warn our viewers, too. This is all live video. We are watching it as you are watching it. Our hearts are pounding just like yours are, and we are holding our breath as this guy, he's going 40 miles an hour probably down this off-ramp. I think this is the Genesee off-ramp.
Super
off
lucky
of the 163.
that nobody got hit.
Take a look at the biker in the bottom right corner. Oh, you can't really see him, but okay, so now he realized he missed his exit there. I'm pretty sure that's Genesee off of the 163, and now he is headed on the Genesee exit.
So going westbound, maybe?
Right. Feel free if someone wants to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that that's where he's going, and going right through that exit, not even slowing down.
Eastbound Mesa College is what we're told.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that where somebody on a freeway dead stops, reverses down a curving ramp, and then gets onto another road?
Fast.
Really fast, with a curve no less. Now he's getting back.
Is he going to get back on the one?
All right, this is the 805 south. So he's going from the 163 backwards up that ramp. And
now
then
it's not
finding
the
his
same
way back
ramp,
onto
though,
the
I don't
805
think.
south. No, not the same ramp.
Wow. Traffic still at a very, very slow speed. They're on the 805, which is typical of this time of day. This guy, we are told, is a parolee, assuming that plays into some factor of why he's running from police, which he has been for the last half an hour, and has had total disregard for other drivers on the road. As you see here, he is picking up speed, going faster in the shoulder far right lane of the 805 south, correct? Correct. The 805 south, as he now approaches, he's going to start approaching the 8. The 8 freeway, east and west, is going to be coming up here shortly, within probably a mile. If he stays in the right lane, he will pick up 8 west.
And the time of day that this is happening, he's going to west. He started to go east, and then he again pump faked almost and went west.
And this is a single lane road here, by the way. That is a very dangerous curve to get now onto the 8 westbound. He is right above the Mission Valley area. What's that? Dave and Buster's, that's what it is, right above that. So he's just passing that, and here he is approaching now the 8 westbound near the Mission Valley area as this red sedan continues to take police. And notice, I haven't seen any CHP officers behind him for a mile. I mean, they are way pulled back, and at this point they are strictly chasing him from their eyes in the sky, from the sheriff's helicopter, as well as from the PD helicopter, and for good reason, because this guy is is on a mission for sure.
Yeah, this is a terrible time of the day to try to pull a stunt like this, but on the 8 West where this guy is right now, there's little traffic. He's coming up to a situation where he can either go north or south on the 5, or could stay straight and go to the beach communities. You'd imagine, given what we've seen, he'll probably get on a freeway. Yeah, so less traffic for this person to deal with, but this is more of what we've seen earlier, where he drives right in and out of traffic and goes wherever he wants without regard for what is written or drawn on the road when it comes to lines and it comes to safety procedures.
I mean, he's got to be going 80 miles an hour at this point, right? Look, he's almost getting off there at whatever that exit was. I'm not quite sure, Morena maybe? And now he's continuing to weave in and out, picking up speed, not slowing down. Now he's getting on the 5, potentially. Where are we right now?
Or he's going to Sports Arena. Is that area?
No, that's the 163.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the 163. Yep,
right,
it's 163
yep.
southbound. You've been watching this live police chase for the last half an hour with myself and Andrew. We want to hand it off now to the Fox 5 News at 6 with Kathleen Bate and Phil Blauer.
Once again, you're following breaking news in progress here on the Fox 5 News at 6. This is apparently a suspect, a parolee, that has taken police on a high-speed chase since about 5:30. It started in La Jolla when this individual was going on the 5 off of Gilman, and then it's traversed across several freeways and in pretty much every direction the compass will take you. He has gone through, and we believe it is a male suspect because he did get out of the car at one point in Del Mar. It's taken the police choppers and those in pursuit overhead through Del Mar Village on the 5 southbound to the 805 south to the 163 south, where the suspect then drove in reverse down an off-ramp to get back on the 805, the 8 west, and now we're on the 163 south. And that is a long and dangerous list of freeways where this person has been driving rather erratically, just passing between those 2 cars and just nearly scraping both sides of them as he continues to make his way off another off-ramp here, and driving on the shoulder has become customary of this suspect as well. We believe there is only one individual inside the car. We have not been told otherwise. This is the area of the 163 South where the suspect may be under the overpass passing Washington. Now, if you know this area, there's Kensington, there's all kinds of tight-knit communities there, and traffic can really come to a stop. This is the Hillcrest area in particular, and as you know, very narrow roads, very congested, particularly this time of night. So now we're seeing this individual stopped. Now you might be asking yourself, where is the police presence? Well, just like Sky Fox, they were following overhead, and they've been told basically to stand down because of not only the time of day, but the erratic nature of this particular suspect, and that is in the name of public safety. It looks like he is using the shoulders once again to continue this pursuit, going south on the 163, and we all know where that's headed. That's downtown towards the Balboa Park area. And again, you're going to run into a lot of congestion in those areas. I'm going to bring in my partner here, Phil Blauer, as we continue to follow this high-speed chase that has gone on for at least 30 minutes so far.
Absolutely, and as we saw during Jen and Andrew's coverage, this guy just is doing all sorts of maneuvering here. We saw him go backwards at one point down an on-ramp. Luckily, so far, one person has been sideswiped. We haven't seen anybody seriously hurt by this, but this car, Kathleen, has reached speeds of up to 90 miles per hour. This is now being followed strictly by air, we understand, by the CHP and perhaps even by San Diego police as he continues to maneuver through these tight spots, again through the downtown area past Balboa Park there on your left-hand side. We're going to have to see how he emerges. Most of the traffic at this time of day is coming out of downtown, but there is still some concern. And there you see the signs there. Could go southbound on 163, where it still appears he's going, or he could turn to the right and go northbound on the 5. We'll just have to wait and see. Earlier in Del Mar, we saw him blow through several stop signs. We've seen him again drive on shoulders. In fact, the sidewalk at one point, he stopped at an office complex in Del Mar, got out for a second, got back in.
There, Phil.
Got back in, and that's the Laurel Street Bridge right there. Now here he comes. He's decided to stay on the southbound lane of the 163, now going through downtown. Now this ends into 10th Street. So we'll have to see what happens. He could be on surface streets here in just a couple of moments. Again, this is going to be very, very crowded for him as this narrows down. Going to be passing over here by City College in just a couple of minutes, so we'll keep our eye on him.
And again, you're watching the Fox 5 News at 6 as we continue to follow this breaking news. This is a parolee that gave chase for some reason. We don't really know. Of course, we thought there maybe at that juncture he might get back on the southbound 5 and head to Mexico, as many people try to attempt, which you're only going to run into Customs and Border Patrol agents. So that's really not a realistic option for this person. But now kind of hidden behind the buildings here in downtown San Diego, this suspect with CHP overhead trying to keep eyes on him may find cover in some of these high-rise buildings. We don't know just how many police units are on standby in different areas of the city. So you can imagine that they're keeping an eye on that person who is wanted for this erratic driving in excess of speeds of 100 miles an hour. We guesstimate, but it certainly seems that way. You can see Sky Fox is trying to pick up the trail of this parolee, get back on, I believe, the 805 South at that point. But in any case, he's now downtown and we believe surrounded in a parking garage on 9th Avenue.
And once again, if you're just joining us, this started at about 5:30 tonight. Kathleen's done a great job of recapping. We still have not been told by authorities exactly what this person is wanted for, other than just that he's a parolee. This is still one of the most fascinating parts of this whole pursuit, is when he pulls in this upper parking garage here of this office complex in Del Mar and begins shifting stuff around in his car, taking about 30-40 seconds there. And then you'll see him get back in reverse and sort of casually tap this other car that's on top of that garage and then move on. At one point also, we thought that one of his tires on the left-hand side of his vehicle, which is described to us as a Honda Accord, had been flattened perhaps by some of the debris that he'd been driving on his shoulder. But if that's true, it didn't seem to affect him, still maintaining some fairly high speeds throughout this pursuit, and also weaving his way into the downtown area where we still believe he is at this hour.
We're learning new details today about the guy who police say led them on a high-speed chase throughout San Diego last evening. You watched it play out live on the Fox 5 News at 5 and 6. We learned that before this, Aaron Howley had 9 felony cases filed against him, mostly drug charges. Last night we watched as he drove his car recklessly through La Jolla to Del Mar, back to Kearny Mesa and downtown. At one point, he drove in reverse on the 163 up a ramp before then switching freeways. Witnesses last saw him at an underground parking garage near the East Village.
I just saw him go very fast into the garage, and then he almost hit someone in there, my customer, and then my customer said something to him because he got literally within inches of hitting him at a very fast pace, and he just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry," and then that was it.
Police searched through nearby apartments into the night, but they have yet to find him. Officers say that they believe he changed clothes before getting away.
The guy did what he was supposed to do. He yielded to the right, and unfortunately, this guy was able to get around him. So, Caroline, we're now on the 126, working our way back toward LA County, which is kind of a far reach. We're going to have to go through the elements of Thousand Oaks, Simi Valley, and all that area. But unfortunately, the 126, only a 2-lane highway, and right now traffic is relatively light. So most likely we're going to see open speeds along this portion of the roadway. But if anything, this would be a perfect opportunity where units can deploy a spike strip up ahead of the road here. So hopefully that may be an option to bring this pursuit to a safe end.
Megan, are we still technically in Camarillo at this point?
Yeah, we are. Technically, we're going back towards the Camarillo area. We did pass Camarillo Airport. At times, speeds were about 90 miles per hour. I was monitoring this pursuit as News Chopper 4, the only one covering this pursuit right now, as we were headed toward this pursuit. We're exiting Victoria, so we're exiting Victoria off the 126. Let's see what happens as this vehicle takes the exit and see what he decides to do.
Yeah, is this the Saticoy area?
Not too sure the area, but I know we're by Buena High School. We're near Buena High School. We just exited Victoria. We're northbound Victoria off the 126, crossing over the 126 right there below. Buena High School is just to the east of us, so we're going to see what this person decides to do, continuing northbound on Victoria. So now we're on surface streets here. Now, the suspect vehicle did go on surface streets earlier in the Thousand Oaks area. He was on surface streets for about 5 minutes and then went back onto the freeway. way. So now we're in the, I want to say Camarillo area, somewhere in this area, Ventura County, and we're still near Buena High School, which is just on the other side of Victoria. So we're not sure if students are on spring break, but the fact that we saw a school bus just a second ago, evidence that perhaps they are getting ready to pick up children, as it's 2 o'clock here. School probably gets out within the next hour or so. Let's zoom in here and see what the driver is doing. Driver seems to be nonchalant right now, just waiting, casual. Right now, from what it appears, only one person in that vehicle. Not too sure if we have multiple occupants. Can't see what's in the back. But again, an alleged stolen vehicle reported out of the LA County Sheriff's jurisdiction. LAPD attempted to pull it over. Units from the Topanga Division. The vehicle did not pull over, ensuing in a pursuit. Now we're in the city of Ventura here, approaching Victoria. And we're going to see what's going to happen as this light turns green.
And Megan, there is a CHP unit directly behind this van at this point, is there not? Or very close? Yes, there. We do see law enforcement.
Yeah, he's going southbound. In fact, I believe they may have tried to deploy spike strips there, so we're not sure if it was successful, but we're going southbound Victoria back to the 126. And in fact, we're pulling into this high school. This is Buena High School, pulling into the high school here. Look at this unit right here. He's going to go up there and hopefully cut him off. So this might be coming to an end. Let's see what happens as he approaches that officer. Officers approaching the guy with their guns drawn right now, so hopefully this is coming to an end here. Buena High School here, right off of Victoria near Telegraph.
This is always a tense.
Victoria, just right off the 126. Pilot telling me we have a lot of traffic coming up here, so let's see what happens as he approaches this intersection.
Yeah, this is always really a tough one when you see this amount of cars, and now he's in a bike lane approaching a red light, and he is stopping here at least.
Yeah, you can see he's making a right turn here off of this road here, listening to the CHP, trying to see, they just changed frequencies, so I need to find that. Eastbound Telegraph Road. So we're eastbound Telegraph Road from Victoria. If you're familiar with this area, if I pull out, you're going to see the high school. The high school is right in this area. So fortunately, we don't see much activity there. That yellow helicopter, that's Ventura County Sheriff's. I believe that's the Ventura County Sheriff's. They are assisting, and you can see the vehicle now slowing down.
We're about to bring our viewers on NBC4 on, so we're going to pause for just a moment here, and then we'll be back on the web as well. We're following breaking news for you right now. It is a chase involving this Mercedes van. News Chopper 4, the only chopper overhead. Megan Reyes has been doing a great job following this for us. It's been a little dicey here now that we're on city streets. Megan, what's the latest here? He's really slowed to a stop, essentially.
Yeah, Caroline, we've been following this pursuit out of LA County through Camarillo. You can see that it's Telegraph Road. Vehicle just made a right turn off of Telegraph Road. We're just really close to high school in this area. Let me try to get us positioned here. We can let you know the exact location. But California Highway Patrol has been pursuing this vehicle. Ventura County CHP has been pursuing this white vehicle. Now, what we understand is this is an unreported stolen vehicle out of the Los Angeles County, and there's a law enforcement officer right there. In fact, you know, I think that's a regular motorcycle. But regardless, at times, vehicle going in and out of all traffic lanes, weaving through traffic. And so we're just coming up here shortly onto the 126. So number 1, number 2 lane, swerving in and out of these traffic lanes. Traffic right now going about 55 miles per hour here.
And this is one of these Mercedes commercial vans. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, Carolyn, say that again.
I said it's a Mercedes van, a Sprinter, we understand. Have you been able to tell?
No, not yet, but you can see the large van there makes it a little difficult for them to be able to pull this vehicle over as far as making an attempt of doing a pits maneuver. Might be a little difficult. I think that vehicle right there is going to outweigh your average CHP unit. I will tell you, however, they are setting up spike strips. That is what they're planning to do. They're hoping to get a spike strip deployed, and you can see he's coming up on an exit here. That's the he's just he almost just wrecked on that center median there, that off ramp. So that was, I believe, the Rose exit. We're trying to get the locator here. Telephone Road, just past Telephone Road on the 101 freeway in Ventura County. The 126 is coming up, so I'm not sure if he's going to take that exit here, but you can see how he comes up really close onto this big rig here, and I believe this is the 126, and only one way to go. That would be eastbound back into LA County, perhaps.
Interesting, and we can see here this big rig pulling over here, really slowing down almost to a stop, it appears, and now he's going around alongside that.
Yeah, that big rig almost, it almost appeared perhaps that big rig was trying to slow him down, but the big rig heard the sign, shares jurisdiction. This vehicle was traveling through the Topanga area. LAPD saw this vehicle. They attempted to pull the vehicle over, and the vehicle failed to yield, ensuing a pursuit. We're on Surface Streets area here in Ventura County, right off of Telegraph Road. You can see he's pulling into a parking lot right here. This may actually be a school here. This is possibly a school here, so we'll try to see what's happening here, but I believe this is, I'm trying to see what school this exactly is here. Balboa Middle School. This might be near Balboa Middle School. Vehicle going through the school parking lot, coming back out onto the main street right now. So this is Woodland Street. This is Woodland Street, and indeed that was Balboa Middle School. So dangerous situation here coming up on 2 o'clock. We may still have students in session, but right now you can see this pursuit here in the Ventura city limits. CHP doing what they can. In fact, there's a school bus right there showing evidence that children are perhaps getting out of school.
Yeah, and Megan, we watched some really dangerous driving on the 101 where this driver was in the shoulder, zipping past cars that were slowed on the freeway in the Camarillo area. His speeds obviously reduced significantly here, but still, we don't know what's going on with this driver.
No, this driver is failing to yield. That is Victoria Street right up there. So if any good news, the driver is complying. That is Woodland and Victoria. You can see the driver's just complying with the traffic laws, which is a good thing right now. Earlier we saw him blazing through a couple of signal lights, failing to yield, causing perhaps a very dangerous situation. But what's more dangerous, the fact that the driver drove through Balboa Middle School